Hi, welcome back to Wicked Wise. So, tonight I decided that I want to talk about emotions and dealing with CPS in the courts and the police. So, I want people to understand that I'm an educator and an advocate. A woman reached out to me, a couple people reached out to me, but one in particular, I want to say her story is just heartbreaking. And if you're watching, I just sent you a text. So, everybody I talk to, I try to tell them to keep their mind, body, and soul together. I don't care if you have to scream, cry, shout, beat the walls. I don't care what you got to do to get your frustration, your hurt, and your anger out. When you're dealing with these people, you have to have all of this together. Your mind, your body, and your soul. And I know it's hard. Even as an advocate, I have days where I just want to cry, stop advocating, stop educating people, because the hardest thing to do is to get people to do the work. I've done the work. I actually want to do other stuff besides teaching parents rights and their children's rights. I want to do other stuff. So, let's talk about this. The first thing is CPS, the police, and the courts are set up to break you down. You can't let that happen. I don't care if you have to cry, scream, and shout every night. The next day, you get up and you continue on. Don't ever stop fighting, ever. There will be a day that your kids will know what you've done, how you fought for them, all the time, sweat, and tears you put into getting them back. And they will see that it wasn't your fault. Now, I'm not talking to you people who I don't advocate for you. I will not advocate for you. I will advocate for your children. So, there's a couple things. The first thing is you have to take care of yourself. I just did a show with Amanda Cisco. She's a friend of mine, and I do guest star, whatever. I go on her show. And the first thing is, when they take your kids, the first thing is to always make you break down. It's kind of like being in prison in your own home. And the courts and CPS are like the wardens. They don't like what we're going to just take your kids. Well, that's not fair. And that's not right. Thing is, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not coming in anything that I pay for and tell me how to live. Not going to happen. The third thing is, if you really abused your children the way they quote unquote say you do, it wouldn't be a civil matter, it would be a criminal matter. Now, they'll tell you that because it's a civil matter, you don't have rights. You got rights. You got all the rights. I say this every time. Download your state constitution and the Constitution of the United States. Also, because the Constitution doesn't have all your rights in it, I want you to look up the Bill of Rights, inalienable rights, civil rights, and human rights, because all those rights apply to you and apply to your children. I don't do long videos because I personally don't have the patience to sit through an hour of anything. So I keep my videos short. But what I want to say is, do not let them, okay? I'm going to say it again. Do not let them win. You want to beat them? You learn, okay? You learn. It's sort of like going to war. When the United States goes to war, they study the other country. When football teams go on the field, they study each other's plays. That's what you got to do with CPS. You need their manual, state and federal, and it can be found online. You need Supreme Court cases and federal. You can get them online. If you can't find them, my email address here, I got them. Just email me. I'll send them to you. You have to know your rights. Okay? That's the biggest thing. If you know your rights, they can only get but so far with you. If you've watched my videos, they got nowhere with me. You have to stand your ground. Okay? Even a court order can be, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. They can't take your free will, okay? So if the court orders you to do something and you don't agree with it, you can tell them that they're not going to take your will. If you don't agree with something, you need to speak up. And I've been hearing, trust me, I know. I've known this for 30 years. Oh, my lawyer's not doing anything, and I'm paying him. Well, no, really, you're paying the state. Because unless they're a federal attorney, they work for the state. Okay? Their first client is the state, not you. Because what happens is, they all drink from the same water cooler. They know what's going to happen to your case before they even go in and argue it. And just because Joe Blow's attorney over here is arguing with your attorney and then the judge reprimands them, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? It's all, they're actors. They're actors. Don't fall for it. The goal is to get you out of family court, quote, dependency court, and up to a higher court like general district. And then even then sometimes you'll lose there, but you can keep appealing it until you get to your state Supreme Court. But a lot of people run out of money by that time. So you have to familiarize yourself with the laws of your state, their federal and state manuals. And by the way, they don't even follow their own policies and procedures. So if you use one of their policies and procedures against them, they probably don't even know that it's theirs. I'm putting it out there. I fucking hate CPS. They're a joke. Anyway, you got to do your own homework. I will help you get the tools, but it's up to you to do the work. I've already done the work. I didn't even do the work for my own daughter, and I love her. But no, I'm not that kind of advocate. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I'm very humble. I'm very grateful. Sometimes I just feel like I can't do this anymore because some of the stories I hear are just horrible, and I'm literally crying on the phone. I'm getting emotional now. It's very hard to hear a parent who lost their kids for absolutely no reason. It's devastating to them. I know their pain. I've been there. I've done it. It's how I became an advocate. But I also want people to know that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You might not see it. You might not understand. But I'm a true believer in a couple of things. One is karma. That bitch knows everybody's address. I don't give a fuck if you're a judge, a cop, a CPS worker. I don't give a fuck who you are. You cannot go through life, fuck people over, and expect your life to be great. Because one way or the other, in your life or in your death, you will pay for it. The other part that I believe in is everything happens for a reason. And when I say that, it's because at the time that I was going through all my shit with my kids, I could never understand why God was doing this. Why will God let such cruel things happen to my kids? Well, I now know why. Because it's my destiny to help people, right? And I'll help anybody as long as you're not abusing your kids and you're not a pedophile and you're not shooting shit up in your fucking veins. I'll help. So my light at the end of my tunnel, which I thought would never come, was I learned and I studied my enemy. So I knew when they came for my daughter, I already knew what to expect, right? Because it doesn't matter how many years ago this happened to me, they got worse. I knew what to expect. They kept saying, oh, Miss Wise kept saying, why are you here? Why are you here? Yeah, I did. But not because I didn't know why you were here. I was expecting you. I was waiting for you, actually. I set your asses up. Stupid. But my question, why are you here? It was actually a rhetorical question. Why are you here? You ain't taking shit out from my fucking property. And she wasn't here anyway. Stupid. So I think the point is, the light at the end of the tunnel is you always have to pass the buck. I feel like once you've gone through it like I've gone through it, you can help somebody else in the same situation, right? The problem is, because we don't educate ourselves before this happened, we always educate ourselves after it happens. Part of the reasons I'm doing my videos is because I want people to educate themselves before this happens. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, parents, anybody with kids in their family, you need to educate yourself. Know your enemy. Your enemy is CPS, the family courts, and the police. So I hope and pray that I'm helping people out here, because I don't want to feel like I'm just on YouTube trying to help people and I'm really not. A lot of people have reached out to me, and I immediately, when I see the emails, I respond. So today I want to add, if you email me, please include your phone number so I don't have to email you back and say, what's your phone number? So I can call you. And I'm honored to have my subscribers. I appreciate you. I hope that I'm teaching you something. I hope that I'm helping. I have lots of information. If you reach out to me, I'll send it to you. But I also want you to understand that I educate people on their rights, their kids' rights, and I have material. But there are other advocates out there that do reunification. I don't do reunification because I'm the first person, right? I will try and keep your children out of the system, and I know how to do it. I've done it before, and it's worked. But if you get to me after the fact, I can help you to a certain point, And then there's other advocates that, like I said, do reunification, do actually help people get their rights back. So there's advocates out there. My only suggestion is be very careful about who is advocating for you, because some advocates do charge. My philosophy is, I don't want your money. I want you to pay a lawyer, because you just might need one. And I'm not going to take from your family. I'm not going to do it. I know the information, and I'll give it to you for free. I've never been the one to take money. I can't take money from somebody that I'm trying to help. It just feels horrible to me. So my only advice is be very careful who you pick to advocate for you. I can't tell a grown person what to do, but I will say this. If you think they can help you and you can't afford an attorney and you are going pro se and they can help you, I would do it. I don't know. I can't, it's not in my heart to charge people for the information that I have. I just can't do it, because if I only help one person, right, that's satisfying to me. If I help somebody, that is more satisfying than anything money could ever do for me. I just lost my concentration. But I am here. I do have information, and if I personally cannot help you, I'm sure I can find an advocate out there somewhere that can. Oh my, it's been 17 minutes. I'm so sorry. I try to keep my videos short. So with that, I'm going to say good night, and God bless you. Keep your mind, body, and soul strong, because your will is all you have.